Ni hao ma, welcome to the Smoke Breaks podcast, episode 3. I'm joined with my fellow co-hosts Vivian and Channing.
I am Vivian of
Wonder
the Kyle
boys.
variety.
I am Channing of the Ben variety.
We've got a lot to talk about. Spotify Wrapped, Apple Wrapped. Is it Apple Wrapped?
Apple Replay.
Apple
Get it
Replay.
right. It's really
I'm
bad.
sorry.
Apple
Sorry.
record that.
Sorry, Tim Apple. Didn't mean to offend you
It's
there.
so bad.
Songs of the year, album of the year, music video of the year. There's so many
Yeah.
things to talk about, and
2020.
some Grammy nominations as well, and how
Lack of.
Abel has been snubbed
Yeah.
disgustingly.
So what do we want to go into first? Should we talk about 2020 as a whole, music? What do you think? Thumb up, thumb down? Do you think it's been a good year for music, bad year for music? It's been
Thumb up with boner.
Really?
I like it. It's been all right, actually.
I think it's been alright. I think for a lot of artists it's been quite hard to put as much time and effort. Well, they've had more time to put time into the music, but I imagine it was a lot harder to get studio time. Obviously,
Yeah.
they weren't able to test out songs on crowds performing.
This is very true.
I feel like it was a year of singles because of TikTok, practically.
Yeah, 100%. I think, who was it? Well, Joji, who we talked about in the first episode, his album got delayed.
Yeah.
Dua Lipa as well, who's had a big couple years. She delayed her album by a couple months, I think, because she just didn't think it was.
I think
the
they didn't
right
realise
point in
how
time.
long it would take. And also because I was thinking about this the other day with albums being delayed. I feel like it's got to do a lot with merch because they have album merch that comes out. But because production and shipping has been so hard this year, I feel like that probably delayed the whole process.
Yeah, that's actually a fair point. I
Yeah.
didn't think of that.
I thought that was Joji specifically.
Because I guess to kind of.
Just talking about merch, you know the extravaganza that Joji did?
Haven't watched it.
I
Wait,
haven't
it's
seen
not.
it
Let's
either.
forget that he sold 2 items from the extravaganza for charity and auctioned them off for like 14k.
Oh,
The
it was
big,
the
big ass spoon, the big spoon, and something else. Loads of like signed copies of his album, and there was something else like I can't remember what it was.
I actually remember. I think I sent that to you, didn't I?
you did, yeah.
And I was just like, he's selling a giant spoon
Because
for like
he-
14 grand.
Because he was selling spoons on his site with
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
merch.
yeah.
Because I bought one of the hoodies from the drop for Nectar, and I just saw he was selling spoons. I'm like, does this have any
It's
relevance?
it's a
or-
gimme love spoon.
Yeah,
or is
yeah,
it-
yeah.
What's the reference from it? Is it
Um,
from
I don't
one
know,
of the music
because
videos?
No,
his
maybe
album's
it's
called
like
Nectar,
giving
and
someone
you
a
need
bit
to
of love,
scoop some
just yeah.
honey.
Oh yeah, because he was selling honey as well, I think.
Yeah, but like only in the USA.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
very limited edition.
Yeah, I think that's like an actual like tariffs thing.
Yeah.
And like illegal like importing of goods. He'd need a proper like honey producing license in order to ship it to Europe.
It's so much effort for such a niche meme, but it's just
Yeah.
just sell t-shirts. So
Well, yeah, what do you want? Like Manuka?
Manuka's really good. I rate
It's
that.
very
Put that in my cup of tea, man.
It's also from like New Zealand, so from the US isn't any
Not
use
easy.
at all. Yeah. Anyway, segue.
Segue.
Hello.
Swag.
Kyle,
Okay.
tell me, what's your Spotify Wrapped? Who's your top 5 and your top 5 songs? Top
Yeah.
5 artists, I meant to say. I think
yeah,
I
let's go
skipped
through
one.
artists first. Let's see.
Yeah. Artist is probably easier. I took screenshots of this.
And this is all based off of plays, right? Isn't it? How much you've listened to them throughout the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, me first?
Go
Yes,
for it.
please.
Sure. So, first things first, if I can find the screenshot.
Amateur hour. Woo,
Do you want me to
I
start?
cannot find
I
the
can
screenshot.
start. I can start if
Yeah,
you
go
want.
for it,
So,
go for it.
surprise, surprise. My top artist is Joji, which I was actually very surprised about. I thought it would be someone different. I thought it would be my second artist, who's Tame Impala. We
Yep.
all,
I
we all
love
like
that.
Tame Impala.
Yeah.
1975 is my third one, even though they had a really bad album this year, in my opinion, but we'll talk about that later on. And fourth was The Weeknd, obviously.
I
And
think that's an
fifth
obvious
is
inclusion.
Oliver Heldens, which I was surprised. I'm honestly surprised that Mesto wasn't in the top 5. But my top song of the year was The Goat, which was an Oliver Heldens and Mesto collaboration. And apparently, according to Spotify, I played that 212 times this year. I was like,
So you enjoy that song?
I think it still
It's
slaps.
pretty good.
And then the second was "Blinding Light," which obviously is the biggest song of the year, and I've contributed a fair bit to that. So send me some merch, Abel.
Contributed to the 1.7 billion plays it has on Spotify.
My song of the year is the third one here, which is "Breathe Deeper," taped by Tim Impala. It's such a good song. It's like a groovy indie pop song, and then it's got like an acid house outro. It's really good. I don't know. Have you guys listened to it at all?
No.
No.
I feel like I have.
It's really good. Highly recommend that. It's like 6 minutes of bliss. Fourth is "Earthquake" by Tyler, the Creator.
Brilliant song.
Great song.
Brilliant music video. You're talking about potentially speaking about music videos of the year. I think that music video is great. It's very weird at the start. Have you seen it, Andrew?
Bits of it.
It's like he's like getting interviewed and he does his performance and the whole set lights on fire. It's very Tyler. But yeah, continue. Very good video.
And my fifth one was "Make You Mine," Mike Williams.
Oh yeah.
Do you know that one?
I am a
The
fan
EDM,
of Mike
yeah.
Williams.
And well, I mean, the stats suggest that my top genre is EDM, which is not surprising at all. I've very much gone into my EDM over the last couple of years. It was last year I think it was rock or indie rock, but now it's EDM. Just because I've purely been producing that music myself personally and like looking at what's going on and looking at the trends. And then the minutes listened to was 67,843 minutes.
Those are some good numbers.
Yeah. So someone's addicted to music.
Yeah.
Someone's a
I
music
think I'm pretty
student.
similar because they do it on the Apple Replay they do hours.
They do
So mine
hours.
is 1,035 hours, which is around 60-ish
Yeah.
thousand minutes. So me and Andrew are putting up the numbers. We're putting in work.
I do think though one of the contributing factors. My second most popular genre was lo-fi music. So I
Really?
put it on when I'm like studying or when I'm like
Mhm.
sleeping. So like think about all those hours lost where I'm like either like not really listening or just putting it on in the background. So that's
Yeah.
definitely contributing to it.
Yeah. It's a good thing you don't put it on shuffle. And then all of a sudden, you just have some random suggested drum and bass. Suddenly you're
no.
waking up
Just so
to...
completely.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just the one lo-fi Spotify playlist, the Sleepy Beats, I think it's called. Oh shit! And then they drop my mic.
That's probably one of the genres that's had one of the biggest years this year. Because if you think about all those streams on YouTube that are going on 24 hours, like the
Do you watch
lo-fi
the-
hip hop and stuff like
Yeah.
that, they have a consistent like 10, 20,000 viewers 24 hours a day. And think about a lot of people working from home this year, so it's more likely that they would be listening to that. So I think it's probably where the money's at in music at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah. I'd love to make lo-fi music. It's just one of those things where it's just so simple.
It's a lot of remixes. It's a lot
Yeah.
of like hip hop remixes. Like I swear 90% of them are just Biggie Smalls remixes with just a bit of
It was all a dream.
yeah.
This is true. This is very true.
Do you want to go for
All
yours,
right,
Carl?
moving on to mine. So my top artist of the year was Le Weeknd, which it's no
Yeah,
surprise
I
it's
mean,
to
I'm
us
not.
at all.
I'm really not
It is what
surprised
it
about
is.
that.
It's
at
not
all.
surprising. at
Not
all.
surprised.
One of the best albums of the year.
Yep.
No surprise.
Second was Chami, who we talked about in the last podcast.
Mhm.
I was a big fan of his music before his album came out a couple of months ago, and I think since the album came out, he just started climbing up in terms of my listening time quite dramatically. Third is the 1975.
Same as me.
You both
Um,
haven't.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
so
Best 1975 song of the album, though. What would you say? I think it's definitely got to be "If You're Too Shy." Let
Yeah.
me know. It's the. It's.
but I feel like it pains me to say that because it's the one that's just had the most radio time, and I suppose it's
but it
it's
is
not.
the best song.
Yeah, it's not like Chocolate in the sense that when they were still quite not very well known, like that was the song everyone knew. But it does seem
Oh,
to be
yeah.
that
Do you-
sort that
Were
sort
you
of song.
there? Were you there when they came to Jersey that year?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
They
then
were
everyone
on
just shouting
so
chocolate,
early.
chocolate, chocolate.
Because I remember turning up because we have this festival where we're from called Jersey Live, and the 1975 they must have been performing at maybe 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
It
Like,
was
they
very
were
early.
they were
It was the
one
first
that-
first
they-
one we saw of the weekend. I'm pretty sure because we
Yeah.
arrived and it was like,
Yeah, and I just remember there wasn't even that many people watching them, and now to think how big they are now, it's kind of crazy.
yeah. I saw them at Reading last year, and it's by far the best show I've ever been to.
Really?
Probably because I was very inebriated, but I had such a good time. Like
Yeah.
they really know how to put on a show.
I think Matt Healy just as a songwriter as well, is just incredible. Because there's not really anyone that kind of goes to those lengths in detail with the topics he kind of discusses. And I think that's really what distinguishes them in the kind of indie/pop genre.
Yeah, exactly.
And is why so many people kind of like them and stick to them, because it's just so left field of what you would expect from a boy band, essentially.
Would you say their latest albums, because I'm personally, I don't really listen to the 1975s. Would you say if I was to delve into listening to their music, what should I go to first?
The first album for sure. The last album that they did, what was it called? Notes in a Conditional Form.
Yeah,
it's their worst album. Like, it's it's just a mess of an album.
Is that the one that came out this year?
Yeah, like, just to sum it up, like, there's good songs. Like, If You're Too Shy is probably my favorite 1975 song they've ever released. But like, it's like you've got indie rock, and then you've got country rock, and then you've got like rock, heavy rock, and then you've got garage music, and then you've got jungle music. It's a fucking genre mess. It's you know what I mean, Kyle?
Yeah.
They've got like junglists on it, and then they've got like these weird gospel choirs going on. There's really good like moments on it, but it's just like it's not consistent all the way through.
I would say, like, in terms of recommending like what albums to go to first, I'd say the first two would probably be their first album.
But the third one is the best in my opinion.
I Like It When You're Asleep.
No, A Brief Inquiry into Unraveled Relationships. Yeah, that's
they're just all good.
Magnum opus, man. It's
I think why I always stayed away from them is because they had that instant mainstream popularity, and I related it to they're a bit poppy. They're not really going to be instantly my style, but I'm definitely going to give them
Funnily
a go.
enough, they have in one of their music videos, Girls, they say it starts black and white, and they go oh yeah, I'm really not feeling this vibe. It just doesn't feel right. And then the drummer goes, yeah, we're not a pop band. And he goes, yeah, we're not a pop band. So first of all, it needs to be black and white for a start, and then like the actual song kicks in and the guitar riffs come in, and then it's a full color video. So it's kind of them taking the piss of like, we're trying to be different, but we're just fucking mainstream now.
Because I think the issue is you get a bad first impression, and my first impression was hearing Chocolate on the radio every single day, and I'm just like, I don't think this is really for me. But now I'll definitely give them a listen.
Nah, Chocolate's just like one of their like that debut single that kind of breaks it all, because it was like song of the year for that time as well. But like, if you listen to songs like Sincerity Is Scary, Love It If We Made It, that's it's just Love Me, Sex is a great song. Sex is such a good song. Robbers is I think that's my favorite song off that album, the first one. Yeah.
Girls, just.
And then also Matt Healy he's a very intense personality. You've kind of you can understand where he's coming from, but you can also be like, you're a twat at the same time, because he can be a bit too full on sometimes with what he says.
He does have that sort of like philosophy student approach in interviews of like, I just feel like the way society is progressing, the conformity of the perplexity of, and you're just sort of like, just say what you mean. You don't have to supercalifragilistic everything. Yeah. But
this isn't an essay. You don't need to fill it with words.
Like there's a YouTube video where he's painted something like on a canvas, and he's just there in his socks, and he's just covered in paint. And he's like, and the interview's like, so what does this mean? And he's like, it's just art, man. It's just like, oh god, you're trying to be too edgy. He tries to be too edgy sometimes, but like, we can appreciate him. He's had really, he recovered from like addiction, and he just writes really good songs. So that's 1975 in a nutshell. Honestly, we could talk about it for hours.
Yeah. So moving on to my number 4. We segued there. Number 4 is AJ Tracey, who
Live and Direct.
It's the Hyperman set, mate. That was a song from last year. Keep to 2020, mate. But as you said, I think his album came out last Friday at the time of recording. So I think November 29th.
You listen to Seal in the Bag yet? Seal the Bag?
Steal the Bag 2.
Steal the Bag.
Number
Not
2.
Seal the Bag.
Seal the Bag.
Secure the Bag.
Secure the Bag.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, what?
I was there like, that doesn't sound right, but you started saying it more.
Rob the bag?
Steal the sack. But yeah, I think going back to your point, Ben, at the start, he has had a very singles year.
Mhm.
He's had Rain, he's had West 10, he's had Dinner Guest before the album came out. And I guess in my personal opinion, like those 3 tracks were better than the entire album. And that's, in terms of other AJ Tracy fans, that's the kind of vibe I've gotten. It's almost like he's progressed with this music. He's kind of gone garagey with Ladbroke Grove last year. And he moved into like really, really mainstream, bringing grime and garage to the forefront again. And then he's almost like retreated back to Secure the Bag, the first album that he came out with. So I think I think he's kind of the example that I'd give as like it's been a singles year more than an album year.
I think it's always an issue. It's kind of a blessing and a curse if your singles blow up and do amazingly, because obviously they're going to bring more people to the album, but it kind of sets the fans' expectations so high if they've had these 3 songs that are absolute bangers, that the rest of the album is going to be the exact same way, and sometimes that isn't the case. I think some people might have had that expectation with Joji because there was 4 or 5 singles from that, which I know you said, Kyle, to me that you think they're a majority of the best songs on the album.
Yeah. What was it? Daylight, Run, Give Me Love, Sanctuary, and...
You just named them all, I'm pretty sure.
I think that's
Daylight.
Yeah.
You said Daylight
Yeah,
first.
you said
I was like, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
But no. And number 5, who is someone that I don't think has released any music this year, funnily
What?
enough.
Who?
Most Malone.
Who?
Hey.
Post
Oh,
Malone.
wait.
Austin Posty.
yeah. Hollywood is bleeding. this
Hollywood's
year.
Bleeding's
Nah,
last
that
year.
was 2019. Yeah.
2019.
But
bro.
Squeeze Me? What?
Yeah, but
I think it
Circles just stayed in the charts for
Wait.
so long this
I
year.
want to double check this. I think it
Are you
was
sure about
2019.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was vibing to it.
Postal Mahomes. When did this album? Yeah, September 2019.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, that was a while ago.
yeah. Over a year ago, bro.
Yeah.
And to quickly just round it off, my top songs: Omega by Chami, Heartless by The Weeknd, Made in France by Chami Marla and DJ Snake, Rain by AJ Tracy featuring H, and Dinner Guest, AJ Tracy featuring Mostek.
Nice.
My top genre was Electro House.
Electro House.
Yep. And minutes listened, which, to be honest, I listen to a lot of like festival sets on YouTube, so it doesn't really add up properly, but 40,000 minutes, roughly.
It's not bad.
On
Nice.
Spotify.
I mean, it's not like a bragging right to have. Oh, look at me, I listen to so much music.
Yeah.
Just
Not
like,
bragging rights, but catch
Yeah.
up, mate. Alright, should I go through my top 5 artists for this
So
year
yours is
then?
yours. How does Apple's work compared to
So
Spotify?
I'm using Apple Replay because I'm a dweeb and I can't be bothered to change over to Spotify because Spotify. Imagine how many artists I got. One of my mates changed from Apple Music over to Spotify, and it took him like a full day just to like, because you can't port your music over from one to another, so you'd have to go and be like, this artist, download all of those albums. Same with the other ones, unless you're just gonna like start with a blank slate.
It's cheaper though. It's like £5 a month cheaper, bro. You got to think for the future.
Hey, flash,
Yeah.
flash with it. Okay, my top artist of the year, which I don't think either of you have listened to, he's called Eden. So he is a artist who is from Ireland. He doesn't have an Irish accent, but he was born in Dublin. I think his family are from Asia. I found him February this year. I found him on the YouTube trending page, which is not the best place to find good music. But I was on the trending and I think he was maybe on the Artists on the Rise part, and I saw Eden song was called ISO Hell. Listened to it, watched a music video, thought it was great. Saw that he had an album coming out a couple weeks later, at the end of February, so I thought, I'll go back, give some of his older music a listen to kind of get myself prepared for the album. And his 2018 album called Vertigo is amazing. He has a background of EDM, D&B music. He used
This
to...
guy's got so many plays on Spotify.
What, Eden?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh, you
used to
give it
be
in
under a
there.
different
Yeah,
name. His
this-
name used to be the Eden Project, and he did loads of music on YouTube, more in the D&B EDM space. And then 2016, he changed over just to the name Eden, changed his style a bit, but he still has that underlying like heavy bass through his music, but a lot more lyrics driven, and he's got amazing vocals. So Vertigo, 2018 album, absolutely love that. And then went to his latest album, which is
No
called
Future.
No Future, and it's
Well,
kind
that's
of got
optimistic.
yeah, it's kind of got less. He has a song called 2020 on it, and it came out February, and the first line is like no hindsight in 2020, and it kind of looking back on it now
Which
with
with the benefit
hindsight,
of
you're
hindsight.
like, oh shit. But yeah, he is by far. I have 101 hours just from Eden, and it is nearly double my second artist, which is The Weekend, which I think Kelsa
Fake
Pre
fan.
is. Yeah, not
Fake fan.
not too much of a surprise, but yeah, obviously After Hours, just he's somebody that is always going to be on the top 5 every year, even if he doesn't have an album out.
Yeah, it's top 5 Watch Mojo.
Yeah, top 5 crossover. And then number 3 is Jaden Smith, which I know sounds very rogue, but
Cause he's
I'm
vegan.
just the icon living.
I do actually have my Just Water today as well, so which is his company.
You ever what? Sorry.
Just Water.
Wait, that's his company.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
yeah.
Yeah, what do they sell?
Clues in the name, isn't it?
Just
Just
water.
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 Justice.
I think a lot of my plays for him was he had albums in 2018, 2019 called Iris and Sire, which kind of flip of the same name, which is his middle name of Sire, which are criminally underrated, I believe. He mixes so many genres together, kind of is quite hard to explain, but I think because of obviously being Will Smith's son, I feel like he's got to kind of get past that barrier of people like judging him based on that initially, and then if people actually give his stuff a listen, I think it's definitely worth a go. And then number 4 is Brockhampton.
I've not listened to Brockhampton at all, but I've heard so much about them.
Not at
So
all.
Not at all.
Oh,
Honestly.
mate.
Oh no, what's that song? What's that song?
Well, the
Bleach.
one from this year, Sugar.
Sugar. Yeah.
Yeah, Sugar was all over the radio this year. That's by far their biggest song that they've had. And their album Ginger, which I think came out at the end of 2019, so it's not an album from this year, but that would have crossed over to this year. Brockhampton is just an easy listen for
How
me.
many members are in Brockhampton? Because it seems like
712. No, there's like
Wait,
no, there's like
no.
7 or 8, but there's so many. It's
wait,
like,
what? I'm confusion.
what?
Wait, so there's 7 or 8,
Yeah.
but there's 700.
No, I was
No,
being
he was joking,
facetious.
bro.
Yeah.
Ben, don't do this.
No, there's like I think there's 6 or 7. One of their members actually got kicked out a year or two ago, but
Sexual assault.
Yeah, allegation. yeah,
Yeah.
allegations. Yeah, but yeah, they're still brilliant. I'd love to see them live whenever they can start doing shows again. And then my 5th is Nicolas Jarre, who I found through The Weekend. I think I might have mentioned him when we were speaking about Shami last week.
Yeah.
I think he's from Italy. An amazing producer. Just gone back, listened to his music. I actually have, I think, my number 9 or number 10 is Against All Logic, which is Nicolas Jarre as well, but under a different name. So he does kind of 2 different styles of music under each name. So yeah, he's very easy listen. It was great for when we were working at home in March, April, May period. That was kind of on the Sonos 24 hours a day. So yeah, that's my top 5.
Very interesting. I was surprised by some of them.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't know you that well,
Mhm.
but I was like, oh damn, I've not heard of that artist. It's more like oh, I need to listen to this guy. I need to listen to Jaden. I need to listen
Yeah.
to Eden. So I definitely will be listening
100%.
to Eden and Jaden and Brockhampton more if I can. It's just I have a problem where I have difficulty getting into new music now. I don't know if it's just old age.
Old age, bro.
Yeah.
You're 12. Like.
How old are you, bro?
69. But yeah, it's just I really struggle to get into like I stick with my artists that I've like grown up with. And
Yeah, I
then,
feel that.
Yeah, and I could only really like get into like one new artist, maybe 2 or 3 per year.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm quite the opposite. Like I have constant themes like The Weeknd or people like Mac DeMarco that I love or King Cruel. Like they're people that I'll listen to every year, probably for the last 4 or 5 years. They'll be in my top 10 artists. But then I think I'm always just trying to consistently look for new artists, someone that's doing maybe something a bit different. I kind of get enjoyment out of that, trying to find an artist that maybe hasn't had their come up yet. And if you can find them and they're making good music, then it's definitely worth giving it a try. I kind of had that with Brockhampton. I think I started listening to them before their first album of Saturation came out, because they had 3 albums, Saturation 1, 2 and 3, which they brought out in a 9 months period. They brought out 3 albums because they do have because they do have 10 members.
Them,
so
they easy to songwrite if there's only one of them doing
it's kind of
one song each.
Clues in the name with it, Saturation. They were kind of sarcastically just saturating the market with as much music as they could make, because they were all living in a house together. They actually that's where the name Brockhampton is from. It's on a street that they lived on.
Oh damn.
So yeah, they were just able to pump out music, and it wasn't a case of they're putting out so much music that it's bad. It was really quality music every 3 months, which was just crazy. You don't really get that from artists. Sometimes an Abel or The Weeknd, he'll spend at least, I think it's every year and a half, 2 years get an album normally. So it was crazy. It was an amazing period for anyone who's a fan of them.
Yeah, it's just weird. I just can't do that.
Just go back and go through Saturation 1, 2 and 3 is.
Yeah, I'll definitely have a listen. It's just because my top genre at the minute is EDM. I have I don't really get into these artists. I kind of have to nitpick certain songs that they do, especially because I'm a DJ and I'm having to look at, this is a good song. I have to scrap, and then I'm they've got this song but it's really bad, so I scrap it and don't listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at the variety of artists on my actual top 100. You can tell there's 1975, and there's one artist in particular that I've listened to a lot, which I'm surprised didn't make it onto the top 5, is Fisher. But he doesn't have a lot of songs though. He only has
he has 7.
7, yeah.
Literally 7.
These artists that you're talking about have got 3 or 5 albums already.
Yeah, they had 40 songs out in the first year. So it's okay.
It's just one of those. When I was teenager, I would rinse albums like it's nothing. I used to go to HMV and just buy albums and listen to them.
Yeah.
I just don't do that anymore.
HMV,
yeah. I know, that's a rest in peace, Rambo. Yeah. Jeez, but yeah, just looking at it, yeah. Harry Styles, nah, that was a good album. Should we talk about song of the year? In our opinion, what is our songs of the year?
I guess we could have a look. Did you go through some of your songs, Kyle? Your top songs you had played this year?
Yeah.
So, what is your ultimate 2020 song of the year?
God, that's hard. It depends on what angle you approach it at.
I know it's hard because if I look at my Apple Music, my top 11 songs out of my top 100 were all Eden songs. So I feel it's quite bad if I don't pick an Eden song as my favorite.
All right, let's break it down to categories. So something that's more for casual listening.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say?
Oh,
something the first thing you put on when you're walking down the street. First thing you put on in the car. What would you put? What would you pick?
I've got one right here. It's a song called "All Right" by Marlin's Dreamin', who are an artist that I found in the summer, on YouTube, and it was they're that kind of easy breezy summer when you're sat outside on a Friday. It's sunny. Cracking open your first beer, I'm Marlin's Dreamin' is going on, and All Right is the first song on the album, and it's that easy, just guitar, mellow, just
Marlon who, sorry?
Marlin's Dreamin'.
Marlin's Dreamin'.
I think they're an Australian band, maybe New Zealand, but and that's one of those artists that I don't really feel I'm listening to as much now as I was in the summer. It's kind of the setting that you're in.
Yeah.
And kind of if you've got loads of music like Joji's album coming out and stuff like that, it's kind of taken up more of my time. But I imagine next summer they might be straight back on.
What would you say yours is? Your most casual listening song?
Listening song.
And the next category will be sesh. Something you'd want to play at the session, you're going to lose your shit to.
Yeah. I mean, my usual driving music is usually some form of house. So it will be Chami, it would be Marla, it would be some Oliver Heldens, Mesto.
So you drive really fast.
Yeah.
Road rage.
0 to 60 in as quick as possible.
So you've only had your new car for a month or a couple months now.
A couple months,
so I imagine you've been rinsing the speakers and
Yeah.
just blasting out tunes. Because Carl has a really bad habit of just putting full volume on it, and by the end of the car journey, we've all got like blistering headaches.
Yeah. I just when I listen to music, there's no point like listening to it if you can hear anything outside of your earphones. Because then you're not gonna you're not going to like
Maybe not in the
appreciate-
car because you need to be able to hear horns or
but horns,
kids screaming
horns
as they
are-
cross the
horns
road.
are loud enough. Like, just stay in your lane, don't veer off, and usually you'll see emergency service lights before you hear the siren anyway.
But I do get what you mean with headphones. You do
Yeah.
want to kind of
If
get
you
rid of
can-
that
if you
outside
can hear
noise.
people like mumbling or a phone ringing or someone typing away at a keyboard, you're like, come on, like leave. But I want
Do
to.
you not have noise cancelling headphones?
I do,
Oh.
but yeah, that's why you should listen to them even louder, so no one else can hear you listening to it.
Create the noise
And, like,
cancelling
ear
yourself by
bleeding sound.
making your ears
Oh,
bleed with how loud it is.
I'm gonna have tinnitus by like 27.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, think about it. We're all in care homes, and then you're gonna be like deaf as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still good.
Well,
Can watch-
I
you
wanna
can
touch
watch-
wood.
you
I
can-
don't want to be in a care home. I
Yeah,
don't,
you
I'm
can
not like,
you can
like,
still
like,
watch the music
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
Or just do sign language.
Yeah,
with it
I'll
instead.
I'll be dead before care homes by the amount of blood loss from my ears.
Dark.
I'd probably say my most casual listening song is "Breathe Deeper" by Tame Impala, which I've mentioned before, is like an indie fusion of like indie rock and like acid house. It's really good. I highly recommend it.
Sorry.
Sorry, as you
I
were
was
saying.
gonna say, I think Tame Impala, one of those artists that come out every
Yeah.
single summer for me. It's just like did the song Borderline come out this year? I know that
Came out
album
last
came out this
year.
year, but Borderline it came out
But
ages before the album.
Fun fact about Borderline is he
Amazing.
released the single Borderline, and then when he released the new album, which is called The Slow Rush, he did a completely new version of
It
Borderline.
sounds different. I haven't
Yeah.
met anybody else who'd said that. I hadn't read anything about it, but I said to my other mate Alex, who listens to Tame Impala, I was like, listen to the one on the album. It sounds really different to me. I wasn't sure if I just hadn't listened to it in a while, and it's because it was on fresh ears. But yeah,
He's
sorry,
basically
continue,
taken
yeah.
away like the big vocal sample that goes at the start, and then he's just got the drum beat, and then like this, rather than using like a bass guitar,
He just goes,
you know what I mean.
Right.
If you listen
Yeah.
to the original track, you know
Yeah.
exactly what I mean.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then he's like put instead of using like an acoustic bass, he's put in like actual synth basses, and it sounds so much more fat and thick.
Yeah.
I love it. It's such good driving music, like Borderline. You can just
Borderline's an amazing.
driving down
track.
the avenue and listen to Borderline is such a vibe.
I need to give that album more time
Yeah.
because I've listened to. I think I've listened
More
to
time. That's so ironic because it's the concept is time as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I've listened to the whole album, but in separate sessions. I haven't really given the whole album a listen at once. I might have
Yeah.
to do that.
Breathe Deeper is my favorite of the album.
I'm
but-
gonna go
For
with
sesh, for your sesh.
not
For
for my
your
sesh, for my sort of like more chill vibe song.
Did you say yours?
No.
Yeah.
no,
No, see, no, because
I was struggling.
He was
I was,
going
I
to,
was
and
talking
he kind
about
of
my
got to his
dying
car
of like
music.
blood loss from my ears,
Yeah.
mate. I'm gonna go with a song that it's a cover of "Dancing in the Moonlight." That the cover,
Jubel?
yeah, it's by Jubel, but the cover was from like 2.5 years ago.
Hmm.
But for some reason, at July, August time this year, it just started getting played on the radio, and it got to like number 6 in the charts, which was just weird how it had such like a time delay in terms of it picking up speed. But I'm not sure if it was one of those things where, you know, pubs, clubs were shut for a very long period of time. People were trying to kind of mellow themselves out rather than get into a really heavy drinking mood, wanting to go out, wanting to stay out late. And it's one of those songs where everyone knows that song. And it's just more of a kind of brought into the 20th century type of thing, even though it probably did come out in the 20th century. But 21st, what am I saying?
Sorry, I started giggling because I just heard my neighbour's kid outside just go.
Seshwari. What's your sesh
Seshwari.
song?
I just
now.
wanted to. I know we're talking just before we get onto Seshwari. It just talking about Jubel's cover of Dancing in the Moonlight just shows that we've been talking about like French house, electro house, future house, but it's tropical house. It's still relevant.
Oh, yeah.
It's still like, and there's always like a tropical house banger that comes out like every summer. Like we had Kungs with What's that bloody song called?
It's Kungs
This
cooking
girl.
on 3 burners.
This girl. This girl.
You'll never have.
And then there's Lost Frequencies with Are You With Me?
And then Waves, Mr. Probs.
Mr. Probes, yeah.
Yeah.
Still relevant.
Yeah.
Still relevant. Love it. Szechuan. What's your Szechuan tune of the year?
Szechuan.
Sesh
Nan.
track.
Seshlihem.
Well, obviously we haven't had as many sessions this year because it is what it is. We'll speak about that some other time, I imagine. But mine, Kate Trinado, who I will speak on later because I think we're going to do a little honourable mention for another album of the year. Kate Trinado, his latest album, Bubba. There's a song in it called Vexo, which is featuring Gold Link, Ari Penn Smith, and I'm waiting for it to load up. What is it? 8-9 Fly. Don't know who that is. But Kate Trinada's kind of he's a producer. He's not really a vocalist. So his album heavy features, and it's just got this lovely beat which is just not too heavy, but Goldlink comes in, does his usual thing, and yeah, amazing song for before going on a
when you make
night
it
out.
sound like it's mellow when you say lovely beat. I'm like thinking, is it not like aggressive or something?
What, Vexo? No,
No.
it's not too aggressive. It's good. It's got like a nice like bumpy beat to it. It's not nothing
Oh,
too
okay,
hard.
I see what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking
stick
like,
on
what are
after
your
this.
sessions
You
like,
can-
man?
No, this is, yeah.
Just
I'm
cheese
not-
and wine nights.
Nah, you're still beving, but you're not chucking elbows. Like,
Alright, okay.
it's- Yeah.
Oh.
Boring.
Boo.
Carl Vivian, what is your Szechuan tune of the year?
It's a tough one. I like a lot of sesh music.
That's where I'm
if-
different, and that's why they're judging me. Sorry, I'll
Yeah.
sit back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry,
People don't like different, bro.
Yeah.
I kind of want to say Chami Buenos Aires because that came out earlier
Great
this
track.
year, right before the album. It's just a feel good. It's not like a chucking elbow song, like Ben said, but it's one of those you can't listen to it and be in a bad mood. Like it will lift you up, and I think that's kind of what people needed from the year.
Yeah, 100%.
Buenos Aires. Yeah, it's a vibe. It's an interesting choice.
You're being judged.
No, no, I'm saying it is an interesting choice. 'Cause,
Oh yeah,
like,
it's
It's-
interesting. I'd
yeah.
never pick it.
It's
but
not in my top like 1,000, but
1,000 songs from September.
yeah, your music takes shit, Carl. No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. Oh god, I don't know. I'm a bit stuck at the minute for what mine would be. I'd probably say. Do you know what? I'm gonna go with something really obscure. Purely because I just seen it go down with people down. Sorry, go. Why are you guys laughing?
He was making the weirdest of faces.
you're an obscure right now. It's just kind of like, okay.
Nah. I'm gonna go with Disco Line's remix of Taylor Swift, "Love Story."
Oh, mate, you're such a TikTok.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Wow.
Or I don't know, or head and heart though.
I've been on the For You page before. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I wanna throw out just to kind of mix in a TikTok song as well as just a very popular song in general. "On My Mind" by Diplo.
Oh, Diplo had a big year.
Yep, big year.
Big year for
Big
Diplo.
year. Diplo. I literally just playing before "Looking for Me" by Diplo.
Yeah, Daylight obviously with Joji.
Joji.
Yeah. He's just
Just
producing
hanging about
also.
making tracks.
Yeah.
Major Lazer released a new album again this year.
Mm.
It wasn't very actually that well publicized. Oh yeah, and he did his country album, which is Diplo presents Thomas Wesley Chapter 1 Snake Oil.
Right. Okay.
Sweet.
Hey, he must have been smoking snake oil. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yo, he's on that snake oil.
It's got some interesting features. He's got Jonas Brothers, Noah Cyrus, Young Thug, Julia Michaels, Zach Brown, Billy Ray Cyrus on Old Town Road. It's the remix of Old Town Road that he did is on that album as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did Old Town Road come out this year?
Did
It's last year, wasn't
no
it?
last year. But
Because
that
Blinding Lights knocked off.
that's
Yeah.
that song you mentioned there, "On My Mind," came out last year as well, but it's been huge this year. You look bemused.
I think a lot of songs
What
have
the
had
hell?
the delay, and I
Yeah.
think it's a TikTok thing as well of songs kind of being revived, or songs that haven't
Yeah.
had as big of a blow up when they initially come out, but then they fit some sort of trend that's on TikTok and everyone starts listening to it and playing it.
It's just been one of those years where time hasn't moved at a normal rate whatsoever. Like, you try and think, like, 8 months ago, we were just going into the first lockdown.
Yeah.
9 months ago, it was completely normal.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it doesn't feel like Christmas should be in 3-4 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Wait, it's December.
It is December.
Oh, no.
It's December 6th. Like.
Wait.
Is it December?
Wait, what's going on?
Man, it's been a week. Like.
Is it 2020 still? What?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
Easter's next week, mate.
Yeah. It's December 2021.
Yeah.
Right, album of the year, gentlemen.
Album of the year.
Ben,
Album of
Oh,
the year.
Christ.
give a couple honorable mentions whilst you're at it, because we can't neglect
Yeah.
the ones that people be like, "Why didn't you say future nostalgia?
I'll
Why
give
didn't you say yummy?"
2 straight away. I got to go with No Future by Eden. It's my most played album of the year, most played artist. It's got to be a good reason behind
What genre
that.
is music is Eden again? Because it just sounds like he's proper edgy white boy.
Nah, because he got quite popular making EDM and drum bass type music. But then in the last couple of years, he's transitioned out of that. He still produces all of his stuff himself, so he still has that kind of flavor of his old style going through the music. But it's a lot more songwriter structured songs, a lot more instruments used rather than like.
So is it
just-
kind of like indie pop sort of?
I guess it would be like I'd say it's indie, like
Yeah.
indie alternative. I'd give it.
Alternative.
Yeah, it's anything that you don't know what it is. Alternative. Chuck it.
yeah.
But yeah, it's really. I was trying to think of it earlier because I knew I was going to end up talking about him, and I don't really know how to pin his style down. It's a big mix of the stuff he's made in the past and what he's trying to make now. And then After Hours, obviously, is going to be up there.
God,
After Hours might
such
be
a
my
good
favorite of the
album,
year.
man.
It's just with the singles that came out, you're like, okay, they're amazing singles. Is the album going to live up to it? You give the album a couple listens, and you're like,
You
okay,
goddamn right.
it's amazing.
Yeah. I don't want to
Yeah.
kind of put a kind of album above all of them just for the sake of
It's really hard.
yeah, because you could if you wanted to go from like success, worldwide popularity, it would be After Hours without a shadow of
Yeah.
a doubt. But I feel like in terms of some of the collaborations that have happened within albums, so you've got Joji and Lil Yachty, you've got Joji and Diplo.
Pretty boy.
I was like, did Joji and
I'm a
Diplo
pretty
make an
boy.
album together?
yeah. But
Yeah, the
you've
Snake
got
Oil one.
yeah, you've got Chami released his album. Then he co-produced what is it called? Chromatica, which is Lady Gaga's album. Big Conspiracy came out, which is Jay Huss's album, which I just enjoy a lot. You okay? Big Conspiracy. Then what else was there? You've got Dua Lipa's
Wolf from Off Balba.
Future Nostalgia. Thank you.
Man's
Sorry, I had a
eating,
mouthful
innit?
of pasta then.
Yeah.
What else am I thinking of? Tame Impala's album.
We.
It wasn't called We, but yeah. No. It was Piss. Haim had an album as well.
They did.
I'm not
Apparently
the
it was
biggest-
a really, really
I'm-
good album though.
I'm not the
given that a
biggest fan
listen.
of Haim. Well, I
They're
say that
great-
I'm
they're
not
great
a
live,
fan of
man.
Haim.
I'm not the biggest fan. Oh wait, I actually hate them.
Did you see?
Yeah,
Did you see?
I'm not-
I've seen. Have you ever seen Haim live?
Nah.
No. Like there was a funny mean tweets comment, the Jimmy Kimmel mean tweets, and it
Yeah.
says
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Haim look like they're performing with orgasms, like they're having orgasms, and it's true. They pull some weird ass faces, man.
Okay.
I'll take your word for
All
it.
right. Does anyone else want to pick up the slack?
Another honourable mention.
That's our honourable honourable mentions.
Don't forget KSI.
KSI's album. Yeah.
What about
AJ
Jake Paul
Tracy's
then?
album. AJ Tracy Secure the Bag 2, which it was pretty good. Like it was a nice, I guess, homage to the first Secure the Bag album, but I feel like the singles that he released before it were probably the better songs of the year. Yeah, I can't really think of any other I wanna.
I have one more I think is quite good. Dominic Fike, he had an album come out this year
Yes, he
called
did.
What Could Possibly Go Wrong. And it was a great album. It may be slightly underwhelming when you have the expectations of Three Nights, which was probably
I'm
one
still
of the
obsessed
biggest
with that
songs.
song, man.
probably one of the biggest songs of 2019
2019, yeah.
summer.
Yep.
Like it was
I'm
huge.
still
So
obsessed with that song.
I think a lot of people put a weight on the album, and because the album came out like a year after that song and his initial EP came out, but there's some real highlights on that album. I think that album is actually definitely worth a listen. Couple listens to get into it, I found.
Do you guys know Thundercat?
No.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Them Changes?
Is that his latest album?
No, his album that he released this year, which is probably I think it's his best album, which is called Guess the Love Island Quote. Come on.
I've got a text.
No.
Got a text.
What do they always say? What do they?
Got a text.
No.
Yeah, I think he's really fair.
my
He's got-
type on paper.
It is what it is.
It is
It
what it
is
is.
what it is. Oh
Um,
god, we are shit.
I was like, I'm gonna text message.
Yeah, message.
Yeah. By the way, that Haim album was called Woman in Music Part 3. So yeah, I think that the Part 3 bit is referencing the fact that there are 3 people in the band.
Really deep.
Lil Uzi Vert, Eternal Take. Do you guys listen to Lil Uzi Vert?
No.
No.
Because he had I quite like the song that's called 20 Minutes or 20 Mins from that album, but that's mainly
Exo
because I
Life?
heard it so much on TikTok. Exo
Life's
Tour
a banger,
Life.
man.
Exo Tour Life is a great song, but I think that was from 2 years ago now.
Bad Bunny, like Spotify's Artist of the Year, released an album called YHLQMDLG, and I'm literally not joking when I say that. It's actually called YHLQMDLG, whatever that means.
Or
Was he there?
if you want to
Artist
say
of the
it
Year?
quickly, Yulkumeldulk.
Was he their Artist of the Year? Did they?
Yeah,
What,
'cause
most
he
played
probably-
artist?
Either
Or
that or something. Because you know how Bad Bunny's like the big ass Latino guy now, alongside J Balvin.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm away from the speaker because I need to charge the laptop. And it won't reach. Okay.
I think we already spoke about Bad Bunny and that, like Latina style of music having probably the biggest year, if you think about that whole genre. But yeah, I can't say I really listen to any of his
the
music.
Super Bowl. The Super Bowl this year with Shakira and J Lo was like a representation of Latino culture,
Yeah.
and J Balvin featured on that as well. But like that was. We'll talk about the Super Bowl later on because
Yeah.
we got a lot to talk about with the weekends.
So before we
What does it mean?
we veer off, YHLQMDLG is an abbreviation of Spanish, which is Yo hago lo que me da la gana, which is Spanish for I do whatever I want.
Oh, really?
So
He seems to do that
He does
because he
whatever
is
he
the
wants,
biggest
mate.
artist. So
Yeah.
fair enough.
the double champ does what he wants.
Damn. Yeah. Well, my you said your album of the year would be.
I didn't. I just went with a load of
Yeah,
honourable
just said
mentions.
loads.
To be honest,
I think
Um,
it's
Carl,
very
like,
hard
you're
to
on the
pin
spot
one
here.
down.
You're on the spot here, man. What is it going to be?
it's gonna have to be
Yeah.
After Hours.
There's nothing wrong with saying After Hours because
Yeah.
it is a good album.
It's just there's been so much music since singles and albums, and I'm still there going like, oh, you know what I listened to? In Your Eyes, Faith. Just
Yeah.
put it on, like making breakfast or something. In Your Eyes, you've just got the synth.
Scrambled eggs.
You're just vibing.
Wait.
Yeah,
It's got
You
the
just-
perfect mix of stuff for
Yeah.
any period. You've got turn up, like if you could play Faith at Pre's and you'd be like, okay, this song's getting people hyped. But then, as you're saying, you've got songs where you could play them first thing in the morning if you're feeling in a good mood. Like,
Yeah, I agree. But I disagree with your album of the year. No, I do. No, personally, I would probably have put it in my album of the year. But I just think the Slow Rush by Tim Impala is just it's just too good, in my opinion. Thinking that he produces all of his own music, he writes his own music, and the concept of like time that he's put on it is like genius, because it's like not genius, it's actually like cock teasing his fans, because like everyone was like waiting for him to release a new album, and then he released a song called Patience, which didn't even make it onto the album, and he was like, yeah, you gotta be patient with this one. And then he released all like the songs, and it's like you got to be patient, you got time, and it's just a great album. It's just
cool concept.
pure indie rock.
So
Yeah.
Ben, what was your one?
I'll go with No Future by Eden.
No Future.
I think those three are honestly quality picks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not to toot our own horn.
even though I've
but-
not heard the
Yeah.
Eden one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It wasn't that funny. Like.
No, I went down the wrong pipe.
yeah. So as we have
he has no future.
so
He's dying.
while
Are you good, fam?
he's not making it to the cows.
We're not
Yeah.
making it
So-
2021.
Seeing as Andy's dying, and
DOA.
we have a 3-way tie for album of the year.
We're
Tame
gonna have a
Impala,
fight.
The Weeknd. We'll be in touch to send you your awards. You know, just send us your address that we can send it to, or if
Yeah.
you want to come pick it up in person,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah, I think right on the mantle place next to a VMA and the Grammys, you have the Smoke Breaks Album of the Year award.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know what more you could achieve in life.
Exactly.
Maybe getting voted in the Grammys, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess we're gonna move on to that.
I guess we're gonna move on to that.
Absolute snubbery.
Yeah. Damn, boys, you thick. Why you
Yeah.
been? Wait, are we going for a break? All right.
Okay.
So I'd say the biggest thing from the Grammys that a lot of people was
Everybody on the internet.
extremely upset is that Justin Bieber's album was meant to be R&B, but it got put in hip hop.
Apparently, that's something to do with management, though, because you know how you have to put your songs forward for the categories, and Justin Bieber's management put them forward for pop rather than R&B, and
Yeah.
obviously Justin Bieber was like, "Fuck you doing, man? Why are you doing that?"
I'm gonna be honest, I was joking. I don't give a
Yeah,
a flying
I don't give a
fudge.
fuck. I was very.
Yeah.
That was a curveball when you said Justin Bieber. I was like,
Yeah.
I was expecting you to say The Weeknd, but you're
Yeah.
like Justin Bieber.
But on a real note, The Weeknd should have been up for probably 3 or 4 nominations.
Yeah.
Should have probably
no, more than that.
should have probably won every single one he got voted for, and he didn't get voted.
He hasn't
he
got a
didn't get
single
put up
nomination.
for any nominations whatsoever for any category.
Gordon Abel, he tweeted something, didn't he? He said you
Oh, he said
you owe me and my fans transparency. Or
Yeah,
something.
he says Grammys is corrupt.
Yeah.
You corrupt, me and fans transparency.
which I 110% agree with.
And you know that he's not somebody to try to make like a mountain out of a molehill with something. He
Yeah.
tries to stay quite quiet on stuff. And you know, if he's saying that, then he really is like quite confused, which I think
It's
everybody.
a fair point to make, yeah,
I
because
think
he is
everybody's
very private, and the
Yeah.
fact that he's come out and said that, it's like, whoa,
Quite a statement.
get behind me, Satan. Jeez.
Yeah. And especially when he was supposed to be performing at the Grammys, which I think has now fallen through because he's not going to perform.
He's going to perform at the Super
As-
Bowl the following week, I believe.
Yeah, I think he's going to be doing the Super Bowl instead now, which is fair enough. I get why he wouldn't want to perform at an award ceremony
Yeah.
where he's not even up for a single one of them.
I
I
don't
feel
think
quite
anyone would.
contradictory. Yeah,
I really don't think anyone would want to.
no,
It's a bit intense, isn't it? Having to like rehearse for like the Super Bowl and then potentially do a rehearsal for a Grammy performance. But
Mhm.
I mean, he doesn't really require a lot. For the Grammy performance, I don't think he'd really need to do much for that. But like the Super Bowl thing,
Super Bowl's
it's
a
gotta be
whole
super
ensemble,
choreographed.
like,
yeah.
Yeah, really.
Like he's announced that now, and the Super Bowl is 7th of February,
yeah.
I think.
hmm
So that's just
We'll
months
talk
and
about the
months
Super
and
Bowl
months
shortly,
away.
though, because I'm a bit worried about it, but we'll talk about it later. But like the whole thing about the corruption thing is, I watched a really interesting video about it. It was like, did you guys know that there was like, I think it's like a CEO or like the chairman or something, some like
I
really
watched that same video on it.
Volksheist.
Volksheist.
Yeah. and he talked about how this lady, I've forgotten her name. I'm really sorry about that.
Let's call
But-
her Jeff.
Yeah, let's call her Jeff Lena.
Chef.
yeah.
Jeffrey.
Yeah. Well, let's just call her Boss Lady. Boss
Yeah.
Lady.
Boss lady. Hey, boss lady.
Go on, let me get his point out.
sorry.
Boss Lady. Yeah, she tried to like be really progressive and tried to like get rid of like these people who were getting like paid loads of money and like because they've been in the roles for a long time. It's like you're getting paid this amount of money for doing basically jack all.
Yeah.
And then she's also saying that there's like a toxic culture similar to sort of like Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah,
sort of
the
culture.
board were extremely.
Yeah.
They're extremely comfortable in their positions because they obviously get paid extortionate amount of money to have probably yearly meetings where they just go, oh yeah, let's just look at the top 5 artists. Well, they didn't even do that this year because he
Yeah.
would have been one of the top 5 artists on the radio.
It's just
Um,
top one.
Yeah, and
There
then
isn't really a.
nominations.
But she got fired, didn't she?
Yeah, she got fired. Like, and it was like they decide like the nominations and the winners like quite in advance. But like sometimes these when it goes past the advanced stage, they can like change their mind about it without like telling the people in like them on the board. Because they might have like say really good relations with like the artist or the record label or the management, and they can just kind of be really biased and think right. For example, like we'll talk about like Magna Carta, Holy Grail, To Pimp a Butterfly,
Mm-hmm.
and what was the other albums on that category? Yeezus, like that year, and then Macklemore won. Like,
Yeah.
fucking what? That was the biggest. I thought that was the biggest snub in Grammys history, honestly. But like. This year, I think it's definitely corrupt in suggesting that like Abel has not had any nominations whatsoever, which is just
It seems like there
ridiculous.
is a lot
Yeah.
of bias and like previous or like ongoing relationships that have a lot of control and weight in the decisions of what albums go into each category, what songs go in. I think just the one that instantly stands out is like Song of the Year and how Blinding Lights is not there.
Yeah.
When I got some stats from earlier, so it's the most streamed song on Spotify for 2020, 1.7 billion.
no surprises there.
It was the number 1 song of the year on the Billboard Hot 100 for 2020, and it spent a full year on the Hot 100 with 41 consecutive weeks in the top 10, and that's not in the list for Song of the Year.
It's broken every single record.
Mm.
That song. Every single record that a single song can break, it's broken.
It was popular mainstream. It was popular on social media, TikTok. It was one of the biggest songs on TikTok, I imagine. Popular with his fans. It was connected to an album that was probably one of the most sold albums of the year. I'm not sure if it was top, but I imagine it was definitely up there. So it really, you got to think what they were looking at and how they made the decision to not include that song or his album on.
You know what it is? The Grammys wanted them all to himself to control him like a puppet, and then he was like, "No, you're not going to control me," and that's why they haven't nominated him. It's as simple as that. I think
It's got to be something
Yeah.
to do with him deciding the Super Bowl over there, performing there. I'm not sure whether he made the decision to not perform at the Grammys before or after the nominations came out. You feel like if it was beforehand, that could be connected to the reason why they're like, okay, fuck you, you're not going to have any nominations. But it really is bizarre. It makes no sense.
I guess going on to a lighter note with the Grammys, Beyonce has continued to be the most nominated artist ever, irrespective of gender or genre.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's just a stupid.
Did she have an album
achievement.
out this year?
No, she did a song "Black Parade."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I've not heard that
sort of-
song,
I
by the
haven't-
way.
I haven't heard the song, but I
Funnily
wasn't
enough,
sure
I
whether
haven't
she
either.
brought.
Did they get released on Tidal or something?
It wouldn't
Oh,
surprise
probably,
me.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Jay-Z's streaming service,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Jay-Z and Jay-Z only. I think he's the only person that uses it.
he's just
Gotta be
been
honest.
there,
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
He's not even listening to the song.
Yeah,
He's just
so
getting the plays.
They have the title wrapped, and it's just Jay-Z's album because it's the only album on the app. So it's just like,
Yeah.
it's your most played album.
It got onto record of the year and a couple of other nominations, but the record of the year nominations are "Colors" by Black Pumas. We had Black Pumas.
I've actually given them a listen recently since I saw the nominations list. They're good. I haven't given the full album a listen.
What sort of
but-
genre of Black Pumas? Pumas.
Puma.
Pupas.
I guess it'd be kind of, it'd be like indie alternative.
Okay.
I think it's two guys. I think one plays a guitar, the other one just has really good vocals. It's quite stripped back music.
Oh, nice.
Which it does surprise me. I'm actually happy to see something like that be on there. It's not an artist that has a massive budget. Like from first listen, it seems like somebody who's fair enough to have a song up there against Titans who can spend millions on every song.
Interesting. The record of the year again, Rockstar Da Baby featuring Roddy Ricch, which we've all heard. Which it went through like two or 3 months where it was really popular and then it just kind of died out.
It ran TikTok.
Yeah.
Practically.
Another TikTok song, Say So, Doja Cat.
Yeah, no surprise to see those on.
One I'm really surprised to see here, which I don't think it even deserves to be named. Everything I Wanted by Billie Eilish. No, garbage song.
Haven't listened to that song.
Well,
I know she's talented and she does have some really good songs, but I can't say
I love Billie Eilish. I think she's a great artist. I think she deserved every single Grammy that she got last year because she got 5 Grammys.
Jesus.
Yeah, and she's only 18, 17 at the time. She's 18 now, I believe. And like to do what she's done, especially Phineas as well, like the achievements they've made, ridiculous. But I don't think Everything I Want deserves to be named in that. It's like a really like, you know how like Joji's got those like runaway songs on the album. Why are you guys fucking laughing? What?
You were like, she's 18 now, and I just looked at Ben and nodded like, yeah.
Fucking hell. Bunch of nonsense, man.
Nah.
Yeah, but yeah, and Don't Start Now, Dua Lipa, which is I hope this wins, honestly. I hope it wins.
Is that because you did a remix of it?
I think it's not.
Is it because you had to listen to it over and over again whilst you?
I just think it's a really good song, and it still pops off, in my opinion. It's timeless. You know what I mean? It's like future nostalgia.
I know I would have heard that track, but I can't think of it. It's something.
Don't show up.
Oh yeah. See, it's one of those things where I've never actually seen the name of the song. I've either heard it on TikTok
Was it a TikTok song?
On the radio. It's Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa.
Probably.
Circles by Post Malone.
Circles. I want it to win.
You want what? Circles to win? Okay.
It's a good song, but I don't.
It's not. It's
up
not,
to his other songs he's had in the past.
It shouldn't really be named in that category, in my opinion. Savage remix, Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce. I think that's the last nomination on that list.
Another TikTok song.
Right. Who are we going for, guys? Who are we going to think is going to win?
Most Malone.
You think Most Malone will win? Who do you think?
No, I don't think Posty will win.
Most Malone with Sierra.
I think I can see Rockstar winning.
You can see Rockstar.
I think Rockstar was the first huge TikTok song that there was this year. Like Rockstar had his whole dance and all that shit, which I know Say So and stuff like that. I'd think personally Rockstar.
Do you know it's a difficult
Just
one
guessing.
to predict? I'd probably say. Oh, I don't. Do you know what? I've not listened to like 2 or 3 of them on the list. I'd go for Don't Start Now. That's what I'm going for. I just feel like it would. Song of the year. Beyonce again with Black Parade. The Box, Roddy Ricch.
Yeah.
Love
I
that.
feel like that's
Cardigan, Tay Swift, Circles by Malone Post.
Most of the Polones.
Most Polo.
Watermelon.
Everything.
The postal service.
Yeah.
Everything
Free
I
Malone.
Wanted again by Billie Eilish, which definitely shouldn't. I swear, if Billie Eilish wins, like it's like why? Don't Start Now, Dua Lipa. I Can't Breathe. Her.
Or her.
Is that Pharrell?
Oh, her.
Is that Pharrell? No, it's not. I don't know. Maybe.
I have no
No,
idea.
I don't think that's.
If the World Was Ending, JP Sachs featuring Julia Michaels. Is it ending? Probably.
Never heard of it.
Don't know. So we're going for that one. The Box.
That means I'm
I
giving
think
2
the
Roddy
Box.
Rich.
It's got to be Roddy Ricch, surely.
Yeah.
Imagine he picks up Record of the Year and Song of the Year. Because he's on Rockstar, right?
Yeah. Album of the
Damn.
year. This one was interesting.
Oh,
This is
It's got to be After Hours.
It's a really interesting like lineup.
Oh, where was Blinding Lights on those lists?
Kalimo Bo by Jeanette.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me
Long
let me
glazed
read
CV play.
Kalimabone.
Chilombo.
Kalimabone.
Cubone.
Black Pumas, Black Pumas.
Creative.
It's just the self-titled Black Pumas album. Everyday Life.
Aren't all
Coldplay.
Pumas black?
Mm, the logo is white.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Next
yeah.
one. Next
Yeah,
one.
moving on.
The Jesse? Jacob Collier is
It's all these words, man.
the Jesse Volume 3. Jacob Collier, who's like a famous like YouTube musician who's like collaborated with like some big artists now. Very, very talented musician.
If he's there, why is Kate signed on?
It's like, why the
It's
hell?
the biggest YouTube music artist. Go on.
Woman in Music Part 3 by Home.
Eh,
Yeah.
Probably will win.
Future
Yeah.
Nostalgia, which should win, hopefully. Dua
Probably.
Lipa. Oh, Hollywood Blazing. Post Malone.
Yeah.
I'd pick that.
Folklore. I've not listened to this album. But Taylor Swift one.
Folklore more like folk bore.
Yeah, considering we're meant to be.
Sorry,
in-
Taylor Swift, if you're listening.
Yeah, I feel like we
Yeah.
should be like listening to more music. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
considering
fucking
we should have
hell.
probably
Yeah.
given
Yeah.
these a listen.
Yeah.
do
We're just
you know
picking
what?
the ones we've heard.
Yeah,
Should we
I like
skip?
that one. That's the only one I've heard.
Who are we go? So who are we going for album of the year wise?
Posty.
Hollywood
Posty.
bleeding.
Posty.
Mosty.
Going for Post. Oh, it's just not gonna win
Hey,
though.
Watermelon.
It's not gonna win.
It
It's
was
a really bad
good
album.
What?
Wait, what? I think it's I don't think it's that good of an album.
I think up to the other ones it is.
I feel like Bentleys
Beer
and
bongs and
Bendovers,
yeah, yeah.
beer, bitches
Beer
and
bongs and
Bentleys. What's it called?
Bentleys.
Bitches and
Yeah,
Bentleys.
it's his worst album, but it's still good.
Yeah,
I like it.
I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah,
I
I'm a
like
big
it like
fan.
not. All right. Best new artist. Or should we go through the best new artist, or should we skip it? Because I don't fucking know half the
I
people.
think
on
Kate
this list.
Trinada's on there, so we'll just pick him
Yeah,
and then we'll
Kate
move
You're
on.
right. Kate Trinada, Megan Thee Stallion,
Wait.
Doja Cat, D Smoke, Noah Cyrus,
She's nuts.
D's nuts.
Got him.
Phoebe Bridges, and Ingrid Adress. Ooh.
Yeah, Kate Trinada.
By the way,
one.
did you know that BTS were the first K-pop artists to be nominated for a certain category, which is wow. Oh shit. And
Yeah.
for some,
I do think honorable mention to BTS this year. With
there's,
Yeah,
there's
not
more.
even
There's
like-
definitely
the way
more.
they kind of came out of nowhere
Yeah.
in regards to chart music.
All right, this is
And-
something we can probably get behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think Dynamite went to number 3
Dynamite
in the
is the one that's
UK.
nominated,
Oh.
dominated, nominated, and dominated.
I think it's at this point it's probably a bit overplayed, but I think it's just a very well made song.
A bit of ASMR.
You're
it's
gonna
just
get some
an-
lip
It's
smacking.
just the numbers they put up is ridiculous. I know we spoke about them, I think, on the first episode. And yeah, their views, their fans are crazy.
I don't think they'll win though, and we'll go into why in a moment. But before that, we must do this one more list of categories. Best pop solo performance. Are you ready for this one, boys? Yummy, Justin Bieber.
No,
Woo!
The what?
Woo!
I'd say that
Absolutely
song
not.
is worse than Baby.
Yeah, Baby was a slapper, bro.
Baby slap,
Yeah,
man.
Baby Loki slap.
One more. What's that other one? One heart. What's that
One
song?
Time.
One time.
One
One
Time.
time's better than
One
Yummy.
Time.
Just saying, JB.
Yeah.
Say So, Doja. Everything I Wanted, Billy. Don't Start Now, Jua. Watermelon Sugar.
Watermelon.
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 What song is it?
Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles. I think, and Cardigan, Taylor Swift. I'd probably say Watermelon
I'd
Sugar.
pick a Watermelon
I'm
Sugar.
gonna
That
say
song
Watermelon.
actually is pretty
It's a
good.
banging summer song.
I hate the way that song is called Watermelon Sugar, and the
Hi.
opening line is
Tastes
tastes
like
like
strawberries.
Yeah.
That is, it's just shit. I like the song.
False
overall.
advertising.
Yeah.
I came here for watermelon.
Watermelon.
Oh, so now we get on to best pop duo group performance.
So
And
specific.
It-
Duo performance.
is.
Shorter
Duo.
than 6 foot.
That's what it's called. Un dia means one day. Is it right?
Yeah.
Yeah. J
confirm.
Balvin, Dua Lipa, Bad Bunny, and
Yeah, that's
Taney.
gonna win. It's got J Balvin,
It's got
Dua
J
Lipa,
Ba-
Bad Bunny. That's a cert.
Intentions, Justin Bieber featuring Quavo, which was probably the best song of that album. Is it called Changes? I think it's called Changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
BTS with Dynamite.
Dynamite.
This one I think will win. Rain on Me, Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga.
And a big credit to Blood Pop, Burns, and Chammy who produced
Shout
that
out
song.
Burns.
Really?
Such. Yeah. Wait, come on.
Yeah.
Mate,
Ben,
how many
Ben,
times have I
Ben,
said Chammy co-produced the entire album, bro?
I know. I was trying to add some emphasis to your great point.
Apologies for the ear rape.
Exile Tyler Swift. I nearly said Tyler Swift. Taylor Swift featuring Bon Iver, who's a frequent collaborator with like old school Kanye stuff.
Big fan of Bon Iver.
Yeah, Bon Iver's very good.
Great.
Come on, Skinny.
Shame he made a song with her, but
Who do we think's gonna win? I think Rain on Me is just a no-brainer.
Rain on Me.
Rain on Me. It's
Mate,
it's
the Dua Lipa one that could
What?
sneak attack.
Un Dia.
Mate, it's J Balvin and Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny, biggest artist of the year. Dua Lipa probably had the biggest year for a female artist.
Yeah, but you got to remember the people that are voting are racist.
Yeah, this is true.
Evidently
Yeah.
racist. Anything South American, anything not English.
Well, I guess
is-
we'll see when the actual wins come through. If we see a good mix, and
Yeah.
Best
It's
vocal.
It's quite a while until we find out as well. we'll be a good few episodes in and then come back to this and be like, hey,
oh yeah,
we voted every single one wrong.
Yeah. So best pop vocal album, Changes JB, Chromatica,
Chromatica.
Future Nostalgia. Well, Chromatica by Lady Gaga, by the way. Future Nostalgia, Dua Lipa, Fine Line, Harry Styles, and Folklore, Taylor Swift. It's pretty.
Folklore's probably going to win that.
You think?
I don't know. Taylor Swift just has like gas, doesn't she? She just like seems to always turn
It's
up
the
and win
weakest.
stuff.
I say it's the weakest of the.
Yeah.
No,
Prob-
Justin Bieber changes the weakest, and then I'd say that's penultimate weakest. Like it's just shit.
Yeah. I'd say Harold could do pretty
Harold
well.
Idiot
I want
could
Harry
pick it up.
Styles to win, but I think it's between Dua Lipa and Lady Gaga.
Yeah. Do you
This
reckon
Fine
he'll-
Line is a pretty good album.
It's a great album.
Yeah.
It's a really good debut. No, it's not a debut album. It's a second
No,
album. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you reckon Harry Styles will wear a dress to it?
Yeah, please.
I feel like he's on that vibe, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, that caused quite a bit of stir, didn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Should we go to best
Go to,
rap
like-
song?
Yeah, we'll go to like R&B album and see what The Weeknd would have been up against, because
He would
That's-
have walked it.
that's the issue. Because when I was trying to work out the other day why his album and his songs weren't nominated, and one of the reasons could be that for an album to be in a certain category, so a specific R&B, hip hop, pop, it's got to have at least 51% of the running time in that genre of the music. And with After Hours, he is in 4 or 5 different genres, at least with that album. If you think of like In Your Eyes, Save Your Tears,
Save.
they're just more that pop synth style. You have
Trap.
stuff
Trap
like
with
Faith.
Heartless.
Yeah, Faith goes like that as well.
Yeah.
You have some R&B, slower ones like Scared to Love, which is a bit more of like a ballad.
What's the one I'm thinking of that's kind of liquid D&B?
Oh. No, no, no,
Me
no,
Too.
no, no.
Hardest to Love.
Hardest to Love, yeah.
Liquid D&B,
That
yeah.
could be one of the honest reasons why they haven't put it there. They maybe thought that it was way too much of a mashup of styles. But still, that doesn't mean it shouldn't be under Album of the Year, like, just as a whole.
Best rap song. The Bigger Picture. Lil Baby.
Baby.
The Box. Roddy Rich.
That could
Laugh
win.
Now, Cry Later. Drake featuring Lil Durk.
I do like that song.
Rockstar. The Baby. Just a lot of babies and little
Yeah, a
bitches.
lot
on
of
this,
babies
like-
and riches.
Yeah. Roddy Rich and Savage. You know it remixed by
I'm a
that
savage.
bitch.
Is Popstar on there?
No.
I am surprised.
Well, I mean Drake. Oh no, Drake is on there.
Yeah, but I'd have said if you told me
Clues in the name, it's pop, innit? Like,
It's weird to see Drake in there though, because he proper slates, like he's proper gone in on the Grammys before. He's like he won for Scorpion a couple Grammys, I think, and then he's like, look guys, you don't even need this for like the sort of what's the word I'm looking for, like closure.
mhm.
Yeah, you don't need to have a Grammy if you've got fans who are singing your songs at stadiums and
You
festivals.
don't need this confirmation.
You don't
that
need that.
Yeah.
award because obviously it's corrupt and racist.
Well, he's not going to get this one highly likely, so
Yep.
he's fine.
Yeah, probably we're
That'll
saying
be
Roddy Ricch.
probably
Yeah.
with either of the songs.
Cool. Well, best dance recording. On My Mind, Diplo and Side Piece. My High, Disclosure featuring Amine and Slow Tie. The
Ooh.
Difference, Flume featuring Tora Y Moy. Both of Us,
Moi.
Jada G, and 10% Kate Trinada featuring Cali Uchis.
Woo!
Diplo,
I'm going
Probably
My
Diplo.
High. Disclosure.
fight me.
Oh, fucking will. Have you heard the new Disclosure album? MOG.
No.
No, I haven't.
Great album. It's
Is
just
it?
it's like a standard Disclosure album.
They have a lot of
It's what
features on it because that has
got
what, who
Slow
did you
Tie,
say again? Slow
Amine,
Tie and Amine.
Khalees, fucking. I can tell you, but it's just gonna take me a minute.
It doesn't really matter.
It really doesn't.
We could, you know what? We could listen to that album, and we'll probably be able to talk about it. Before
Chanel
the,
Trez. Chanel Trez. You know
Channel Trez.
Chanel Trez. Oh yeah, Chanel Trez. Mick Jenkins,
Mick Jenkins is
Um,
fantastic artist.
Kalani, and
Kilani.
Sid. Common.
Sid.
Sid.
It's just
Yeah, it's Sid the dude from is-
Lord of
she's
the
in-
Flames.
Khalid.
she's part of the Internet, a group called the Internet, and she was part of Odd Future Wolfgang.
No way.
Yeah,
That's
Sid.
sick.
Sid the dude.
Talking about just something from going back to my Spotify playlist, like Wrapped. It said that I was a pioneer because I listened to "Live Without Your Love" featuring Steve Lacy before it reached 50,000.
I had that for a song called Twilight.
But why? Who?
Incognent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I wish I got this information with the Apple replay, but sadly
Yeah.
you don't. It just tells me
Shit!
Oh,
My Spotify
we're
Wrapped just
getting
started playing.
sued.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
genre lost. Oh, no, let's not go back into that because we're going to
Yeah,
go down
yeah,
another
yeah.
rabbit
We'll
hole.
get lost. down
All
the
right,
rabbit hole.
so who are we saying? Best dance record? You'll probably say Kate Trinada, won't you?
Yeah,
On
I
my
imagine the one
mind.
with I imagine the Disclosure one's very good because Slow Tie, amazing artist, and Amine, just a good
slays
rapper,
that
isn't he?
shit, man.
Yeah.
I want it to win, but I think On My Mind will win because it's been the dominant song. Of the year.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking tech house
I think
song.
Disclosure have been live streaming this year. They've been live streaming
I've
like
watched a few
making
of that, yeah,
songs,
yeah.
which is pretty interesting to see into. You don't get to see into the behind the scenes of one of the biggest artists in their genre do that much.
And
So
they do it for free as well, which is
Yeah.
banging.
yeah,
Really good.
is there an R&B album one?
There's not. It's progressive R&B, and it's artists that we've probably never really heard of before. Chilombo. Chilombo.
He's a great artist.
No, it's an album called Chilombo. I can't.
Oh Lord.
Oh, Chilombo.
Yeah, that's winning it.
Colombo. I don't know what it's.
Christopher Colombo.
Oh, should we just do the thing where it like says it? Speak.
Chilombo.
It's Chilombo.
Oh, it's by Janae Echo. She's huge. She's got a
It's
big
Janae
show on
Echo.
it.
I thought it was John Nake.
Mate, she'll probably win it. Janae Echo's well popular and she's quality.
No, it's fine. Just keep it in. It's fucking
Yeah.
hilarious. Oh, it wasn't that long of a laugh.
I bet that album's actually amazing. I've
Um,
heard her featured on tracks before and she's actually really, really good. So, fair enough.
Oh, what's the song?
Maybe
that
different
I think
name of
she's on?
album, but
Oh,
What's it
I
called?
think of the song. You know, the one that's all my friends are wasted.
And I hate this with. Is it? I don't think it
Nah.
is.
Oh, I feel like it is. What's that song called?
I don't know. It's by two producers, and Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper featured in it, right? Oh, never mind. All right
Oh
then.
no, that's Tinashe.
Ungodly Hour, Chloe X Halle.
These names
Yeah, Chloe and Halle. Yeah, Ungodly Hour. Anyone listen to Ungodly Hour?
Nope.
No. One of my mates is actually obsessed with these guys purely because they're the band that play for Free Nationals. Who do they back?
Anderson .Paak.
Anderson .Paak.
They
the
liked
Free
one of
Na-
my photos once on Instagram.
But for real?
Yeah, Free Nationals.
Fuck.
Yeah, I was like, fair enough. I'm a really big fan of Anderson .Paak, but
I kind of saw him in passing when I was at Reading, and I was like, there was a guy like proper going for it on stage.
yeah,
And-
because he obviously he's a vocalist,
Yeah.
but he gets on the drums a lot and he goes for it. Anderson .Paak is really talented, and obviously he's done loads and loads of
He's
music
on
with
collaborations
Mac
with
Miller
Kendrick and that. Yeah.
Mac Miller. Yeah,
Yeah. Free Nationals Free Nationals.
woo! They
Just,
liked my photo, so I vote for them.
So that their self-titled album, "Fuck Your Feelings," Robert Glasper. Literally, he's called "Fuck Your Feelings." It is what it is. Thundercat, which I think should definitely win it. It's been one of the albums of the year for me as well.
I'm gonna put that on the list with a disclosure one to
Just
give a listen
Good,
to.
juicy,
'Cause I've-
progressive R&B,
Do you
man.
know what was the album that came out before that by him? It's got a song called Lava Lamp on it, which is one of the most chill tracks you could listen to. I'd highly recommend that song.
But
The
the
whole
thing,
album might not be that good, but I know the song Lava Lamp is
Drunk was the one he released before, and then Apocalypse. But the thing about Thundercat is, he was the guy who did most of the bass lines on Kendrick's "To Pimp a Butterfly."
great. He is so
King
talented
Kunta.
with the bass.
That's him.
Yeah,
We love that shit.
yeah. He
Right.
was on The Cave as well. He did an episode of The Cave, which I think.
Yeah,
was
and he
on
was
last week.
drinking like
He had
these
like 4 of the
drinks,
Yerba
man.
Mates
Yeah.
in like half an hour.
It's like, you're gonna die, man. He's like,
Yeah.
no, man. God, emails. Who are we going for on the best progressive? Quilombo. Quilombo. Who are we saying? I'm
Let's
saying
go
it
for,
is what
I
it
feel
is.
like Jenny
Thundercat.
Aiko could do it. I feel like Jenny Aiko could do it.
I think she could as well, but Thundercat, he kind of embodies that whole progressive R&B style, I think.
Yeah, I'd say
Even though
so.
I haven't listened to a single second of the album.
All right then. Should we move on to the whatchamacallit, Super Bowl? I sound so unenthusiastic when I said that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Should we move on?
Should we move on? Super Bowl.
I'm very interested to see who he brings out to perform with.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can announce today that Abel Tasfaye, The Weeknd, will be performing at the 2021 Super Bowl.
You heard it here last.
You heard it here last. So I'm actually really worried.
Who is he going to bring on stage? Imagine he brought Drake out and they do Crew Love. Oh my goodness.
Imagine.
The first time they
Oh.
performed together. That would be insane. When would it have been the last time they performed together? Back when they were doing... Yeah, it must have been with Crew Love and stuff like that. 2012,
last-
2013.
No,
Last time I saw them perform
Right.
Beauty
together,
Behind the Madness tour, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
20.
What?
I think it
No,
might have
no,
been.
I thought they were going
It's
through
videos because
Beefy
he's
then.
got the fucking hairstyle and everything. You know that shit fucking hairstyle he had.
Yeah,
None
but-
of his hairstyles are shit. You take that back now.
It looked like a
No.
tree.
But he wasn't performing with Drake then, was he?
Nah, just a guest performance when he was like in Toronto or something.
Oh.
And he's like,
okay.
"Yo, Drake, come,
Yeah.
come, do Crew Love."
Pull through. I'd love to see Drake come up, honestly.
Do you think he can pull it off though?
What? If he
Have
could
you
get
s-
Drake?
Have you seen? Have you not just that? Just like the Grammy performance, not the Grammy, the Super Bowl performance is just so like you've got to. For example, I've got to give praise to J Lo and Shakira. They bloody killed it and they nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like body popping. They were doing these dance moves, and I was like, "Damn girl, you strut that stuff, bitch."
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
No, but like they were so good, and like looking at performances before, like Michael Jackson, Lady Gaga, and they're all like really well choreographed, and
Yeah.
like even
It's going to be weird with Abel because it is always like there's some type of dance to it.
you could
and he's-
do what Coldplay did and bring out two dance artists like who
And they do it and you just
Yeah.
stay there like...
So you had
"Whoa."
Beyonce versus Bruno Mars with their sort of
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
formations.
really good,
that was
yeah.
really good. Yeah,
Bruno Mars is quality.
Yeah. I think a lot of people hated on Coldplay's year.
really.
Like there were tweets saying one man's trash is another man's Coldplay, like stuff like that. It was on
I think Coldplay are one of those artists that divided opinions. Some people,
Oh, they always do.
yeah, I think they have some great songs, like proper classic tracks, but I can't say that I really ever listened to
No,
them.
it's not. I'm not laughing at you. Okay. I'm serious. I'm serious.
I'm confused.
So when I was working last week, a gentleman walked into the pub, and I've been talking to him like now and then because he's like, "I've got this hot sauce. I've made a hot sauce, and it's 1 million Scovilles." And I'm like, "Bring it in. I want to sweat." And then we started talking about music, and he's like, "You know, I fucking hate Coldplay. All right, they're the worst band ever." Chris
Our
Martin.
colleague, like-
Chris Martin. He's not even rock and roll. He's vegan. Like, what is that?
Not rock and roll.
He
he's
probably
vegan.
worries about leaving his shit at the toilet and forgetting to flush it. He thinks, oh shit, I haven't flushed the toilet. And
Did he say
I'm
that?
being serious. And I'm like, oh my god, right, okay. I quite like Coldplay. So I was like, yeah. I don't
agree,
want to
yeah.
fight. He's clearly had a few pints and he could probably get a bit reckless. Like, and he also was like, fuck that Lewis Capaldi guy as well. He could get punched up as well. And I'm like, oh my god. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, it was just one of those weird moments, you know, in the pub when that drunk guy just comes up and he's like, all right,
He's like, somebody needs to listen to my opinions right now. But yeah, I don't know how I don't think he'll bring Drake out because the songs they've done together don't fit the style of a Super Bowl. He'll do Blinding Lights.
What
That's
if-
100% he'll do that. I
What's the
can't-
song predictions then?
What if they came out with an entirely new album and just performed it all?
Yes.
And
a
they were like,
spoken word album.
and they were like,
Watch the Throne.
Yeah.
the first thing you hear is just 66666. Yeah. Ooh. And
I'd be like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. But I think he'll do that. I could see him doing I Feel It Coming. That's a song that was popular.
Oh.
He could bring Daft Punk out if he does that as well. They'll be there with their tigs, with their...
Then they'll bring
Yeah,
out
with
Hopefully it
the
doesn't
baguettes.
rain.
And then they'll bring Pharrell out.
With their baguettes, yes, because they're from France.
I'm gonna say it's gonna have to perform at least like 6 songs, maybe.
Mhm.
I'll probably say Blinding Light.
If he does Blinding Lights as well, he could do it. Doesn't he have a version of it with Doja Cat?
No, that's In Your Eyes.
In Your Eyes. I could see him doing that and bringing Doja Cat out because she's had an insane year.
I don't like that version of the song.
I don't like it either, but I think it's an easy like gateway for him to just bring somebody in that's...
Maybe he could bring Kenny G out. Because he did a
He
remix of
could.
In Your Eyes out as well.
If he,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
could bring out Doja Cat and
God,
Kenny G,
Kenny-
and they have a dance off.
Kenny G. Just
Kenny.
there, like, weep, weep.
Yeah.
Can't feel my face. He's definitely gonna play that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish he'd just come on and do loads of the like obscure songs
If
from
he just did
Trilogy.
House of Balloons,
Yeah.
I'd be like, yes,
He
please.
just
Or
comes
like
out, yeah.
Price
Oh,
on My Head
Mm.
from Nav's album.
just a really specific one.
I'm so paranoid, I'm asleep when I'm dead. And everyone's just like,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh my god, I want to watch the football.
Oh.
What if he brings Lana out?
That would
the
be
Rate Stargirl
amazing.
interlude.
Yeah, they could do Lust for Life, maybe. I don't know.
Lust for Life could do that. They're a bit inappropriate together with their music in it, so their songs are not normally
Yeah.
very PG.
I'd love to see Sidewalks bring out Kendrick.
You could do that.
Could do, yeah.
I don't know, because don't it? Most artists normally do a couple covers, or they get artists to come out.
Dirty
that-
Diana.
You could do that, but the whole Michael Jackson thing is really not the best thing to tread on, is it?
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah. All we can say is Blinding Lights will 100% be played. And I could actually see In Your Eyes being done if he could bring out Kenny G and or Doja Cat.
I think we're underestimating. He could bring out Metro Boomin.
But that's not a big name.
No.
No, well, you know what I mean. If you bring out,
Yeah,
you could
imagine-
see-
No,
if
imagine
you
you
could
just
see in my face right now.
I'm not joking.
99.9% of the people there would be like,
who the fuck is Metro
who's that?
Boomin? Want
And then
some
we'd
more?
be there like, it's fucking Metro Boomin. And then Faith drops and you're just like, oh.
It's like Coldplay bringing up Beyonce, and then The Weeknd brings up Metro Boomin. It's like you brought a pistol, and then
Tesco's essential
Coldplay bring out a
version, yeah.
bloody, like an Apache.
You just pulled a
helicopter.
pistol on
Yeah.
a guy with a missile launcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
man.
Eminem.
Either way, I'm excited for it because regardless what it is,
I'm intrigued.
If Abel sings, which I imagine he will, it's gonna be good. So there's no way of him really
if you do the
failing.
sing song like he sings songs, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm just worried because of the artists that have come before who have absolutely killed it, just come from more of a sort of dance orientated background. Whereas
Super explosive performances normally,
he's only really started doing slight bits of dancing on
Mhm.
like his TV performances.
and that's normally not too much dancing. It's him just kind of walking down a hallway that
Yeah,
moves.
and shaking his hips
But
a couple
it's
times.
cool. But I don't know how he's gonna bring that.
I'm just worried about Abel. That's all. I'm really
I'm
worried.
just
for him.
worried. I might text him and see if he's doing alright.
It's like, do you want some dance? Do you want some dance lessons, bro?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Imagine if he just busts out like break
Yeah.
dance, and I'm like, the fuck did this come
Yeah.
from?
He's like, I had a lot of time off during the quarantine. I was
He
learning to
just
break
comes back,
dance.
he's absolutely shredded. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
Bella, look at what you're missing out on.
I am now the weekday.
Swole Saturday. Right, what we thinking then? He's gonna slay or nay?
Slay.
Slay.
Slay Queen.
It's a weekend. I know that's quite an obvious thing to say, but I'm just intrigued to see what the performance is like and what songs he performs because he does have quite a big catalogue to choose from now. Especially with doing quite a few remixes this year. He's just had a new remix come out this week with Rosalia. Can't remember what song it was from it. Oh, it's Blinding Lights, obviously. But he could also do that. He could bring out Rosalia for Blinding Lights. But yeah.
Oh no. So talking of 2021, are we excited for any albums that could potentially be coming out next year? I just want to point out one, and it's been like nearly 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years. Rihanna's Dance Hall record. It's still yet to come out.
Oh yeah, I see that tweet every couple months. It's like it's been 4 years, 12 days, 8 minutes, and we still don't have another Rihanna album.
Foo Fighters have got a new album coming out in February called Medicine at Midnight. They just released a new song called Shame Shame a couple of weeks ago, and it's just a bit average. You guys don't really listen to Foo Fighters, do you?
No, not really.
Well, they've got an album coming out soon. Royal Bloods have an album coming out, Kyle. That's piqued your interest slightly.
I am moist.
You got Slow Tie album coming out soon. I think it comes
Slow
out
Tie?
before the end of the year, but I'm very excited for Slow Tie's album. His last album was brilliant. Let me grab the name of it quickly. Nothing Great About Britain.
That was a good
Brilliant album.
Great album.
Yeah. Doorman just stands out to me instantly with Muramasa and that song. That song is a song where if you're planning to go out but also try to get arrested at the same time, listen to Doorman before you go out because that will get you quite angry.
The video, man. The music video for that is so disgustingly British.
Yeah. He
Like,
but I think he
you get
hits the
what I
nail
mean.
on the head quite well with it. He shows the good sides and the bad. Like, he shows the talent that can come out of Britain, but he shows that nothing's great about
shitholes.
Britain. Title says.
Travis Scott has got an album potentially coming out called Utopia.
Hmm.
Are we excited for that one? Because of After Astro World was a pretty good
Yeah.
album. No, I'll take that as a no then, guys. Right, sounds really good.
I think it'll be
Yeah,
great.
he tends to have a couple of songs on each album that just go off in terms of like doing well in the charts. Like his album will always go to number one.
Like Sicko Mode, one of the biggest songs last year, right?
Yeah. Do you want to hit
100%.
Mo Bamba or Sicko Mode?
Apparently,
Sicko
Drake's
Mode.
got another one coming out.
Of course he
Of
does.
course he does.
He's got one coming out every like 3 business days.
Certified Lover Boy.
Oh no,
Yeah.
he's gonna be like, oh, I'm so sad.
That Slow Tie one you were talking about is called Tyrone.
Yeah, I think that's his real name.
Tyrone.
I think that's his name.
Damn boy. Sia has a new one. Music songs from inspired by motion picture. Which motion picture, Sia? You fucking Australian
Disney
bimbo.
Pixar.
My daughter looks just like Sia. You can't see her. It's a Chance the Rapper line.
Is a chance. Yeah, you're right. Kanye.
I'd love a Kanye album as long as it's not another gospel one. But
Nah, I don't think he will do another gospel one. If you see the interview with Joe Rogan, Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna do something hard with
It was
Dr.
actually
Dre.
a really good interview.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think a lot of people have put up loads of clips of
Asleep.
how oh Jesus, Jesus. But a lot of people have put clips comparing what Joe Rogan has said in the past on previous podcasts versus what he was saying on the podcast with Kanye, and it seems slightly hypocritical how he's kind of slated Kanye quite a lot in the past for maybe chatting a lot of shit and sounding a bit insane at points.
Yeah.
But then a lot of the points Kanye was saying on the podcast, he was agreeing with and nodding along, which I guess is going to happen. But
Thing is,
that
though,
was
Joe
great.
Rogan's constantly the reason why people love Joe Rogan so much is because he's always changing his opinions. He's always like progressing. He's never like the same person. He's always different going forward. He'll be like, "Oh, Black Lives Matter is really bad," and then you might change his opinion. Black Lives Matter is really good, for example. Like, as just a really, really like broad example.
He's influenced a lot by the conversations he has.
Oh yeah, for sure. Are we moving on to anything else, guys? Or are we going to call it a day?
I think that's a good point to
Yeah.
wrap up on. We've talked about all the upcoming stuff. We've talked about kind of the entire year as a whole. And we want to we're going to do another episode before the end of the year, which is just summing up how we've more personally found 2020. A bit more of a non-music related one.
Yeah.
But stay tuned for that. If you are listening to us on SoundCloud, drop us a follow, leave a like, and
Tell
of
your
course
man.
check out the other the other episodes that we have already done, and stay tuned for the next one.
Au revoir.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.